Tell me someone signed in.
Okay,
Fucking hell.
Yes, someone signed in. Indiana signed in. Anyway, people of the amazing First XI community, welcome to a new show we're doing. Obviously, the biggest 6 clubs in England right now, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, and City, all have representatives on this panel. We are going to be talking as rival fans about each other's clubs. We're going to be giving different perspectives about everyone's clubs. So, introducing all the panelists, we're going to start off with Indiana, who this is his channel, but he doesn't have his camera on, representing Man United. Indiana, how are you going, my guy?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. I'm happy you're good. And we have representing Arsenal, man like Show himself.
Why are you saying
all the
that?
way from London? How are you doing, Show?
Why are you smiling before you've even announced my name, bro?
You just make me smile. I like Show, man. I like Show. He's my guy.
You're
good? You good?
Listeners, everyone, smash a like, subscribe. Let's get this past 1K, all of that kind of stuff. This is going to be a very entertaining year for you guys. Just all Arsenal fans that are watching, put your fucking seatbelt on, mate. Because boy, don't do that, Husam. Don't do that.
This is no. I'm doing it. This is going to be a tough one for you, man. Tough one for you. And we have representing Man City with a Hawaii outfit he has on right now. Man like Daps. How are you doing, Daps?
Listen, it's Burberry, firstly, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm waiting for the smoke. I can already see that there's a few characters in here already. But we're just little old City. I wanted Leicester in it with us instead of Arsenal. So
we'll bring maybe we should bring it in and make it the Super 7, man.
No. Listen,
just drop Arsenal out.
No one gives a fuck about Leicester. Let's just be real. No one cares, honestly. Like, just forget this whole Leicester thing. No one, not one single person outside Leicester City actually gives a fuck about Leicester. So forget about it, man. No one staying up at 2 a.m. in Malaysia to watch us talk about Leicester. Like,
it's mad because last season when we won the league, everyone told me that no one cared about City as well. So.
Yeah, but no one cares about City. That's just categorically true as well. But you're here because you have a nice outfit on. That's why you're here. Anyway. Moving on to the 5th panelist, man like Slendz, representing Chelsea Football Club, who just lost to Villarreal. Good evening, Slendz. How are you doing?
Hey, but listen, my team lifted trophies 20 minutes ago, man. Certain teams here, man, haven't lifted trophies their whole lives. But anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Subscribe to the channel, man. So it's going to be a fun show.
It's better that show at me, I'll tell you that. I know for a fact.
100%. And representing the biggest club in London, man like Kish, representing Tottenham Hotspur. How are you doing, Kish?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the season ahead, finally. It'll probably be more like Rant FC for me this year, I think. And then obviously it doesn't start any harder than Man City, so that'll be interesting this weekend. See what happens. See if it's a respectable scoreline or not.
That's obviously a very, very fair indication there from Kish, who's very positive, as you guys can see. They've already owned Man City so many times in their backyard, but no positivity whatsoever. That's just what a Tottenham fan does. And representing the biggest club in England, Liverpool Football Club, man like Husam, you know me from I've been on the Grounded Football series. I've been on all the shows on the First XI, the First 11, whatever it's called. Big up to everyone who's tuning in right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Smash that like button right now. Don't just press it. Smash the fucking like button. And we are good to go. We're going to start off as per. We're going to work our way from biggest club to smallest club. So we're going to start off with Liverpool Football Club. We're going to get a rival perspective.
This guy, man.
Bro, can I fucking intro in peace, bro? Let me fucking finish the intro.
It's not good to not lie in your intro. It's not good to
I'm not lying. That's a fact. No. 48 major trophies. Go to skysports.com and check it.
Anyway. He's part of the cult. He's all part of the cult. They just gas themselves all day long. None of us even talk about them. They just talk about themselves. Yeah, it's cool.
Daps, put your Champions Leagues on the table.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much. Anyway, moving on to obviously the Liverpool topic. We're going to get the rival perspective. So I'm going to start off with Indiana, our biggest rival. Tell me what are your expectations for Liverpool this season? Yes, I am. Kojo, please just smooch, don't say shit else before I start bantering Arsenal again.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead
as well, man.
Indiana.
Kojo supports United, by the way.
Yeah, he does. He's a
Sorry, I meant the other guy. Bro, I ended him so bad I forgot his name.
My expectations for Liverpool. Well, from talking to you, I expect Liverpool to win absolutely everything. In reality,
they only have a challenge for one thing.
They're going to win the
They
World
only
Cup.
challenge for one thing.
I think Liverpool pick up an FA Cup and finish third.
Wow, an FA Cup, Liverpool.
Yeah, FA Cup finish third. That's what I see happening with Liverpool. I don't think you've got enough in the front three. I think AFCON could be a problem for you. We don't know what Van Dijk's going to be like yet. I think you needed to do more business, if I'm honest. If I'm a Liverpool fan, I would like to see a striker come in. And I think that could be a problem, especially when you look at Chelsea and you look at Man City, and if they sign Kane. I just don't see Liverpool winning the title. I can't see it. And I could be completely wrong, despite the fact, for me, you've got the best manager in the league by a mile. I believe he's the best manager in the league. I just don't think you have enough to win the title.
Fair enough. That's I think very fair. I agree with a few points. I just want to say with the AFCON thing, before every single one of you mentions it, if Egypt plays against Senegal in the final, that's only 2 games missed. So I don't think it's going to have as much as an impact as previous seasons. I think they moved it further away. So this is
it in January again?
No, I think it's further away now though, Daps. So you only missed 2 games. I think you missed 2 Premier League games and 1 FA Cup game. That's
So,
yeah. I think that's about it, because it's happening, I think, on an FA Cup match day as well. So it won't have the effect that it used to have, where like a player would miss 5-6 games an entire month. So that's it on the AFCON thing. Anyway, so that's Indiana's prediction for Liverpool and FA Cup. Kish, that's a trophy. We're gonna go to you if you like. I just had to tell you in case you forgot the trophy. It looks like Kish.
No, don't worry. We got
your prediction for Liverpool Football Club next season. Tell me.
To be honest, I think it's going to be a struggle. Reason why, I think I mentioned this to you a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned it on the podcast on Monday on Husam Talks United. I think in the position that Liverpool are currently at, the last time they spent big was through the Coutinho money, where they bought Van Dijk for 70+ million and the goalkeeper for 50+ million. Liverpool are in a position at the moment, it's a transition in a sense where Mane didn't have the best of season last season, although I think he will this season. He still needs competition. And I think the players like Shaqiri and co that are there aren't really going to be much of a competition for the starting 3. To compete with those front 3, you need to have, players of that ilk that aren't going to be the 30-40 million pound signings, which seems to be Liverpool's budget range for in the past they've looked at Sarr, I think the player Doku, I think, who played for Belgium in the Euros, who was pretty good, but again, he's raw. Those are the sort of signings Liverpool can afford that need a bit of nurturing, but really, Liverpool are not in a position at this stage where they want to nurture. It needs to be for there and now, pretty much, which is the issue. Saul, I know you're a big fan of, and you've been confident from the get-go that you think that's going to happen. And although he would be a good signing, do I think he's going to prompt Liverpool to winning the league, like maybe Chelsea signing Lukaku and Man City getting Kane? No, I think the striker, like you said, it's like you've got centre-half up front. Which is the biggest issue at the moment for Liverpool. And until you make those sort of changes up front, it will be an issue. And also defensively, with Gomez and Van Dijk being out for such a long time, it might take 10 to 15 games for them to get to the groove. And the way this season's going to be, I think it's going to be a very, very, from the get-go, you're going to need to get the wins early on the board. And I think by the time Liverpool get their groove on, it might be too late to be close to challenging for the league.
Fair enough. I just want to say to Jay Gordon, Liverpool can only do damage if they bring Kariusen. Listen, this is exactly what I need to do. I want you to write another comment. Listen, let me just address this guy. Write another comment just like it and then delete them both, because it's just it's not funny at all. Anyway, moving on to show the Arsenal representative. Obviously, your expectations for Liverpool Football Club. And I'm expecting good things to come out of your mouth right now, so be careful what you say.
I'm only keeping it real, and I don't give a shit. Look, listen, right? I do believe that Liverpool are going to finish in the top 4. I think whether that's a good season for them or not, that's up to them. Whatever their expectations are, I think from what you man's biggest problem is last season, what you blame on having a terrible season, I don't think you've done enough to actually rectify that problem. I.e., bring in signings in the important areas that you knew. Yes, you have brought in Konate, excellent signing. promising player. Retete has done good things at RB Leipzig and all of those kind of things. But you see, in terms of from what I see and hear, that guy is injury prone in himself. I haven't, I'm not going to sit here and say that, I know his whole injury record and everything like that. But from what I've heard, he's quite injury prone himself, which means that you're now bringing in another player that could possibly get injured as well. I'm looking at Van Dijk. He looks a bit shaky in preseason, but again, it's only preseason, so I'm not going to take that to heart too much. Again, with what Kish just said, though, coming back from an injury where you're out for so long, all right, it does take a specific way of getting back into your groove and playing to the level in which you was previously playing that before. So again, that could take a while for him to get back into his groove to do his bit. Again, detrimental to Liverpool's season from the get-go, which means that you're only going to be doing catch-up moving forward. But I do believe Liverpool can do it. It all depends on, again, how everyone else around in the league moves as well, innit? Like, Genie Wilder, I see that throwing up in the comments quite a bit. That's a massive loss to you. I don't see no replacement for him. If you do get Saul Niguez, massive signing. He's a brilliant player. However, from what I can see in the reports, it looks like he's got his heart set on the Barcelona thing. Yes, Barcelona. They're in mad trouble. That we can all see that. But Barcelona, it wouldn't surprise me if they do something dodgy to actually get him in the squad. As like we're looking at it right now, even flipping Aguero can't even get into that squad.
But they shouldn't have never signed Aguero.
Of course. But that's just what Barcelona do. Barcelona will see the biggest player on the market inside him and then think, everything's gravy. Hence the reason they're in the financial shit that they're in right now, innit? Kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So again, right. Just to wrap it up, I see Liverpool. If with all things going well for them, they can smash into the top four. However, they haven't rectified their biggest problem, which was last season, and that was the amount of injuries that they did have. Some things are either not right with their training, the way their medical staff, or the signings they're making and the way they play. But top four for Liverpool, I see.
Fair enough. Slendz?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man. Nothing more I can say than what the rest have said. I think I'm just tired of the violins that Liverpool fans are playing, though. I'm actually tired of it. Like, I think you have a very good squad. I think no, it's not squad. Sorry, my apologies. You have a very good starting 11. It's probably the best in the league. I'll probably say that. And I think Van Dijk, people are worried about how he's going to come back. Bro, defending, it's all in the mind. It's your footballing mind. It's where you position yourself. People are worried about his physicality and everything. I don't think he uses it like in terms of pace and like recovery pace. That's not really his game. His game is reading the game, and he'll always be good at that. So I'm not too worried about him. I look at Thiago. Thiago had the poor season last year by his account, and I think he can only improve from here. I think Fabinho, Thiago in midfield, that's scary for anyone. Yeah, for real. Honestly speaking, it's very balanced to me, and I think Thiago is someone who's a deep lying playmaker that can open up new avenues for you. So, man, listen, I'm not like, I think the only thing you should be worried about is the amount of games, the physicality that Klopp demands, and also the injuries coming in. So, if that doesn't happen, honestly speaking, like I want to hear Liverpool fans big up their chest and speak about second or first, because you still have a good enough first starting 11 to finish first, honestly speaking. So, listen, Mane and Salah are both good examples. Like, people talk about Liverpool struggling defensively last year. That wasn't their issue. Their issue was scoring goals. When you know we're losing to the people at home, was it West Brom? You lost to these stupid teams at home. Yeah, you didn't score the 2 goals, more than 2 goals in that game in that 6-game run, and that was your issue. Your forwards were not doing the job. Like, Trent was crossing in aimlessly. Like, I think people look at always the defense being, not present and hurt defensively. No, I think the defenders not being there hurt your build-up play and hurt the way you start attacks, because of Van Dijk has a massive effect on that. So, bro, everyone's going to be back next year. I think Mane will have a better season than last year, so will Thiago. I expect second place or possibly winning it, but I think Chelsea will win it, so I'll say second place.
Fair enough. Very realistic take there from Slendz. Now moving on to Daps, our rivals for the league title for the past 3-4 years, I'd say 3 years possibly. Your view on the Liverpool situation?
I'm looking. So my boy Soups is here, who's United, and me and him, we both hate Liverpool. Like, the hate is different. It's bred into me by my dad. But I'm going to be very honest with Liverpool. This season, it could go either way. Same as last season when you were bad. I didn't rule you out of the Champions League until you're out of the Champions League, because the fact is, you've got pedigree. Like, you've got winners. Last season was a dominoes effect. There were players there that have done everything they can in England now. Mane, Salah, it's very easy to be in a dressing room with the manager that is happy on a wage you're happy with when you've still got to get a trophy you haven't had yet. The minute that trophy, there's Soups. The minute you've got that trophy that you've been chasing, right, then you want a pay rise. And then because of a few bad results, your manager's speaking to you with a slight different tone. And I think that's what went wrong at Liverpool last year. It was just a dominoes effect. It was a lot of little things impacting each other. Now, the fact is, if I'm Mane now or Salah now, I'm thinking I ain't getting that move I've wanted to Spain. Because right now, Spain's in the mud. Right? So now they've got to knuckle down and do what they've got to do at Liverpool. You have the starting 11 to win the league. But a City fan that saw Company come back from injury and never, ever get back to the level he was. Now, Van Dijk, I'm not saying that happens with everyone. If Van Dijk comes back and hits that level, you may well win the league. If he doesn't hit that level, top 4.
Fair enough. Obviously, with the Van Dijk thing, I completely agree with Slendz. Just before we move on to United, the Van Dijk thing, I completely agree with Slendz. I think Van Dijk is a very high IQ player. His brain plays before his feet, so I think he wins 90% of the things he's faced with just using his footballing IQ. So I'm not worried about Van Dijk. I'm more worried about the other two we have there, obviously in Matip and Gomez. Those are the two I'm worried about, not Van Dijk. Van Dijk, I'm cool with.
I get you, and I'm not saying Van Dijk's going to have a shit season. What I'm saying is it's a reset button. So let's see what happens. But the other thing is, you just said about Gomez and Matic. I agree with you. But what about the guy you've just brought in?
That's what I was going to say. So what, is he not?
Konate isn't the myth that he's injury prone is false. He's not injury prone. It's just a few muscle injuries here and there, like, you know, and out for a short while. But the problem is not Van Dijk or Konate.
But muscle injuries reoccur, bro. Muscles injuries.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm saying Matip has played 25 games in 2 seasons. That's an injury concern.
To be fair,
Gomez has had 2 bad injuries.
The company
that's a bad injury concern. I have worse injuries to look at than the Konate one. That's
but
what
the
I'm
thing
saying.
is, with Van Dijk, he made a very, very good point. The company one is a good example because company on his day was fantastic. And then once he got those injuries, they started taking its toll. And he's always had the football IQ. The last season he was at City when they won the league, he was literally on one leg. And it was his footballing IQ and his cleverness off the ball that still was keeping him at bay, but he was nowhere near the defender he was probably 3-4 years before that. And that's maybe going to be the issue with Van Dijk, where yes, he will still be.
How old was Company when the injury happened?
Huh?
What, his first one? When his first injury happened, he was about 28 years old.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
And the other one?
No, but that's what I'm agreed. The other one. But that's what I'm saying. This is the first one for Van Dijk. This season's vital. If he comes back, because you've got to remember, when Company got his injury, after that, 6 games injured. 6 games injured. If Van Dijk can get over that...
I'll be very honest, though. I think Van Dijk was so levels ahead of every other centre-back in the league that if he does drop a level, he's still ahead of him.
You can say the same thing about Vidic. Vidic at United was so far ahead of every centre-half in the Premier League, and then once he had that injury, he was never the same again.
No, you could say he was. He really wasn't. John Terry was a defender at the time, so you can't say Vidic's levels above John Terry.
Yeah, but you would say for a period of 2-3 years, he was probably the best centre half in the Premier League for that.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Rio was better than him every single year. Rio was 100% better than Vidic. 100%.
There's not
Rio
the
is
same
better
level
than
of centre backs in the Premier League. That's the problem.
Yeah, and it's a different level. Who's close to Van Dijk now? Tell me.
No one.
Don't say
Diaz.
That's what I'm saying. There's no.
You can't even say that. You can't say that.
I never said it. I knew he was coming to say it. I was just like, okay, I'll let him.
Diaz, guys, listen. Diaz took
11, yeah?
No. Let's just address this for a second. Diaz took City from second to first. Oof, unbelievable achievement. Incredible. Took them from challenging for a title to winning the title.
I got you right here. You know I got you, because you always talk about You always talk about don't associate a team's achievement with one player, Mr. Justin Gerrard, yeah? But now you want to do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm saying the impact he had on the team. He went from second to first. When Van Dijk arrived, we were fourth. We won the Champions League and the Premier League. So don't forget. I was 2 votes away from winning the Ballon d'Or as well. Anyway, look, we're not gonna do it. There's 5 other fucking clubs.
I'm not gonna get. Listen. I get drawn into those type of conversations after February. Until February, I'm very humble, right? Because so I want to go back to what we were talking about, which was the other defender, and I wasn't talking about his injury proneness. I've heard good things about him. I've heard very good things about him. My concern with him is with any foreign defender. We'll put Varane in there as well. When you have a player come to the Premier League that's been playing in other leagues, it's different. And we've seen it with so many defenders that look great in other leagues. We buy them, they're piss poor. And that's the other thing with the defender you've bought. Is he going to stand up the test in the Premier League? When he's got balls flying at him from different angles, up here, not down there.
Based on what I've seen in pre-season, the fact he's going to train with Van Dijk, the fact that Klopp is his manager, I think will make that process, which you talk about, which is valid, it'll just make the process quicker of moving in. That's it. The process is the process. It will happen.
Similar to what happened with Keita then.
Bro.
Yeah.
No. That guy just had a horrible injury record. And by the way, Keita did not have a bad injury record before Liverpool. He just had it at Liverpool, which is that's just a bad luck signing.
That's violin season. That
I'm not having it.
How violin season? I just said it's bad luck.
Here we go.
It's bad luck. Do you realize bad luck exists in football?
Bro,
Yeah,
let's
go. By the way, you support Man City. What's Claudio Bravo? Tell me. What's Claudio Bravo? Tell me.
What's Man City?
Tell me. What's Danilo? Tell me. Do you want me to go through your failed transfer target?
Just call a big one.
I can keep going and going. Bernardo Silva, 1 season wonder. I can keep going.
Save this first freestyle at the end, didn't it? Let's move on to Indiana anyway. Still, Man United.
Yeah. Let's just. I didn't even fucking finish what I wanted to say.
Maybe for a freestyle.
Bro, I'm just gonna fucking say what I predict us to finish, bro. I predict us to challenge for the title. I think Chelsea and title have a Chelsea and Liverpool have a title challenge. I think City drop off to finish third. I'm spoiling the City section.
I agree with you. I agree. I just want top 4. I just want top 4.
Yes. Anyway,
explain why you've discounted City completely.
I did not discount them. I said they finished third. How's finishing third discounting someone?
Did you not just say that it will be City and Liverpool for the title?
Yeah.
No, Chelsea.
Sorry, Chelsea and Liverpool.
Yeah.
Discounting City.
Unless they sign Kane. If they sign Kane, different story. I'm realistic. If they sign Kane, then obviously the statement does not stand.
It's mad that you think Liverpool was straight back up there like that, but it's cool.
I think that's crazy.
It's based on fact. It probably is based on facts. So
do you realize that I can? Well, you boys might be able to think of someone else, but I can only think of 2 players who came back strong after that type of injury, and that was Roy Keane and Zlatan.
And the third will be Van Dijk. So that's what
will be. Wow, this is mad.
Yes. That's what I'm backing. Don't worry about Van Dijk's injury. Forget.
As long as COVID doesn't hit,
I'm gonna enjoy it.
As long as COVID doesn't hit, Liverpool will be fine.
Yeah, I think with Chelsea and Liverpool, they're going for the title. City, if they sign Kane, then they automatically become favourites with Chelsea, I'd say. But I think
City without Kane,
some they're favourites anyway. They're the champions.
No.
That's wild.
If Ferran Torres is playing up front, I don't have them as favourites at all.
Agreed fully.
Yeah. If they sign, that's what I'm saying. If they sign Kane completely, sorry. Anyway, I expect Liverpool to challenge for the title.
Of course you do.
We all had our say. We have to move on. 25 minutes and fucking hell.
Sorry, can I just confirm? You only spent
Liverpool soliciting, bro. He's like the
we're gonna go over 16s, man. That's gonna be mad, bro. 24 minutes for one team.
Listen. I'm not being deluded whatsoever. I'm talking about facts, as the Rafa Benitez said. Anyway,
you can't be talking about
facts
when you said next season.
Bro, can we fucking move on to Man United?
He's right though.
Are we gonna spend fucking half an hour on each team and sit here for 3 hours, bro? Let's just fucking move on.
Don't speak about City. We're too small to speak about.
I don't mind not speaking about City because they're irrelevant. Anyway,
It's reverse
gonna
psychology, my
move on
Daps,
to
man.
the-
The champions are irrelevant.
See, I can't even fucking segue. Let me segue.
Sorry.
Speaking of irrelevant, let's talk about the club who's been frozen since 2013. The second biggest club in England, Manchester United. You know, the real violence will be out now if you think Liverpool fans think violent. So, you know, since we're doing the rival fan perspective, then going to the United fan, okay? Gonna start off with Daps. Since you're so loudmouth about Liverpool, who aren't even your rivals, I want to see how loudmouth you are about your actual rival.
We don't
Mr.
have
Noisy
rivals.
Neighbour.
No, you're
Go
wrong.
ahead.
Our rivals are Oldham, okay? We're a small
Oh, here
club.
we go, man. Here we go, man.
But,
Speak on United.
right, so Man United, it's very simple. I'm going to echo what everyone says until they get rid of Ollie. I couldn't care less who they sign. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not saying Ollie is the worst manager in the world, but he's not good enough for Man United. Until they get rid of Ollie, he will make mistakes. The end.
Very short and sweet, as they
Yeah,
say.
short and sweet, like, literally.
Very, very short and sweet. Gonna move on to Show next, because I think I have the most outrageous one, so I'll keep myself just before
probably do.
Indiana.
You probably do.
Yeah, I
Scripted.
Look, yeah. With what
Not
the signs
scripted.
they've made and the
All from the heart. Go, Show, go.
the squad they have, the signings they've made, really and truly, they should definitely finish in the top 4. I think they're going to struggle. I think they will definitely struggle. I think that's management wise. Like, no, I'm being deadly honest with you, man. Listen, yeah. Sancho's an amazing player, but I don't think he's going to hit the ground running at United. I think it's going to take a while for him to actually get into his rhythm there. I promise you, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, genuinely, I'm not taking nothing away from the youth. You know, he's a wicked player. I'm pissed. Anyway, we're not going to get into this Arsenal talk just yet. Like, it's coming anyway. So I see Husam just smiling. Look at him, pussy. So and I know Indiana's sitting there. I know even Kish is sitting there like, oh, I'm going to cook this. Slendz, look at Slendz. You know, fuck you, man. Anyway, listen, yeah. Like, I think they're going to fight to get in the top 4. Genuinely. I think if there's anyone that's going to fall out, it probably might be United. And that's only down to their management. Facts. Like, literally, I think if there's going to be, I think Leicester could creep it above them, but I think they're the main contenders to finish top 4. I think you lot have done well, finishing third and then second, and then I don't see you guys winning any trophies this year. I don't see that being an improvement. I see you coming out of the Champions League again, going into the Europa again, and I see a repeat of, because I don't think like Ollie will know how to use players like Sancho and utilize the maximum ability he has, genuinely. And that's my take on it. I think you guys, you're going to be fighting for the top 4 thing. You're either going to finish 4th or you're going to finish just outside of it. But yeah, that's my
Fair enough. I just want to say I apologize to all the audience. We've shown you Daps' outfit 4 times now. I'm really sorry. I had to get up 4 or 5 times. So I'm really sorry for that. You know, like, please don't dislike the video. Like the video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. So come on, let's get those likes up and subs up. I just apologize for.
Man's wearing one of them San Andreas shirts. You know them?
Nah. Bro, like that shirt was really cool in 2008, but it's 2021 now, you know, so that's what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on.
Wait, you're better than this, you know? You're better than this.
Slendz, Man United. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, that's short and sweet again, man. I think, again, people that Ollie in, yeah, and that respect you, like, you can have your own views. But the fact that you're Ollie in, you don't back your team to win the title, despite the improvements you've made, I don't understand it. If you actually back your manager, no, of course, if you back your manager, you got Varane in, one of the best centre backs, probably like in the last decade. You got Sancho, one of the best creators in Europe. Yeah, like surely, like you finish second. The only way is up from there. But I'm not even seeing them back their team to win. So, well, again, like respect to Ollie for his own. I think
what you just said, because with those 2 signings, that's more goals and better defending. Better more goals, less goals conceded, which means you win more games, right?
Yeah.
None of them are talking about
it opens up different avenues as well, bro. Because people talk about their midfields. Bro, having Varane there is extra protection, and obviously that centre-back partnership on paper looks like it works well. So, bro, listen, I understand the midfield is a big issue at United, but no one can have 11 world-class players and win the league like that. Like, it's not how it works. You have deficiencies in your team, but you mask them with different quality. So,
you know
at the
what?
end of the day,
just to say on that, this is the point, yeah, that Man United fans have gone and addressed positions, or Man United have gone and addressed positions they needed to address, right? And now everyone's saying, right, you were second last year, therefore, title challenge this year. And now, no, I think we need a DM, right? And that's Ollie's excuse.
Right. All they keep talking about is an improvement would be to close the gap to win the league.
Yeah.
What?
I personally think that Ollie chooses that pivot when he doesn't really need to, and he's got other options that might be more suitable. Do you know what I mean? So,
tell me any of our teams that has a full strength, like our left back is a midfielder. Our striker last season was non-existent. Nothing is an excuse. That's down to my club, so I accept that. Man United need to accept, that you can't keep calling, you need a DM, and then when you play any friendly in pre-season, go, Matic was amazing. All right, so if he's amazing, you don't need a DM. Like, no one has the perfect 11. Like, so...
Yeah. And we acknowledge that Matic doesn't have the legs to play 3 games a week, but he has the legs to play 20 games. Like, you can look at Fernandinho. Fernandinho played more. How many games did he play last year? No competition.
Perfect example.
36 years old.
The thing is, I think if you look at a manager and say he needs, he has a good team, but he needs like you, and then you name 15 things he needs for him to win the league, then he's the wrong manager. Simple as. I think all of us would be speaking differently if United, what's it called? Like basically called Zidane up tomorrow and Zidane is the United manager, we'd all be singing a totally different tune. But the only reason we're not shitting ourselves they got Varane and Sancho is the fact they have Oli. That's the only reason. I think.
Let me just wrap up quickly about United. I'll tell you what. Like I've spoke about the Oli hours as well. So, like in terms of their fans, there are some that are quite like. They criticize Oli for things that he can't control, number one, which is ridiculous. I think I acknowledge the jobs that Oli's done. Like I think in terms of like winning trophies and being an elite manager, he's not that. And if you expect him to be that, then you're delusional. He's someone who has left the club in a good state for the next elite manager, and they could possibly go from there. That's how I see it. So, listen, in terms of being an elite manager, he'll never be that, and that's why they won't win the title.
Do you know what?
Finish 4th, in my opinion. But,
I was speaking to Soups earlier, and Soups basically said to me, Ollie was brought in to get rid of the deadwoods and to bring the fans back together and whatever else. Now, I think he did that, and actually, all credit to him, maybe he did a bit more than the board expected. So the board have gone, you know what? And I feel like this season is the board going, we've backed you fully. You got us to a final last year. We were second last year. If you don't win something this year, gone. Has to be, because you're not that manager that can take us to the next level. We need to go and get a Klopp. We need to go and get a Pep. We need to go and get a Thomas Tuchel. Like, not an Arteta.
We're doing that, yeah?
That's already one foot right there. Anyway, let's just go to Kish because he hasn't spoken yet. Kish, your thoughts on your favorite club outside Spurs, obviously, Man United. Go ahead, Kish.
Do you know what it is? I think for me personally, I think they're in for a good season. Look, I agree with what the boys have said. You can't have perfection. You can't have an 11 where it's elite. The formation I'm thinking for United is 4-2-3-1, and if you actually name the players, they're probably an Ndidi kind of player away from being covered in all areas, because Wan-Bissaka is a great fullback defensively. Luke Shaw improved massively. Maguire and Varane are fantastic. You look at every other player in the positions: Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, and even Cavani's got cover with Greenwood. I mean, Greenwood this season has had a pre-season away from the press. Last summer, if you remember, with Foden, he had a lot of issues. Whereas this season, no one has said anything about Greenwood, and that is probably going to do the kid, wonders. Because I think even after January of last season, he got 7 goals in the last half of the season. So
playing on the right, not central.
Yeah, exactly. And off Cavani, who's probably one of the best movements he is an old-fashioned centre forward. He's like a Ruud van Nistelrooy in the sense where they're a dying art. You don't really see many strikers like that anymore. And to have cover in someone like Greenwood, he can only learn. So for me personally, they should challenge for the league this season. I genuinely don't. If you look at that 4-2-3-1 position, I'm not saying he'd play that, but if you name that 1-11, I can't see any excuses. Yes, he might fall short because there's managers like Klopp.
There we go.
Klopp, Tuchel, because if you look at Klopp, Tuchel, and Pep, yes, he is going to fall short in front of those managers. Of course he is. But if you actually base it on the quality of the squad, he's got everything there.
I don't disagree with you. You're bang on. You're bang on. Their squad has been good for a while. Like, it's got better and better. The fact is, and I agree with you 100%. The issue at Man United is the manager.
Yeah, of course it is. And look at the people even go on about Fred. Look at the compilations that come on Twitter every week when he plays for Brazil about how good his ball possession is and how good he is in his possession.
I think Oli makes
the biggest problem at United.
They basically have three players in that position. McTominay has had compilations about how good he is, and if he wasn't Scottish, he would be rated a lot higher. Fred has had compilations, and Matic has won the league for Chelsea twice. So obviously,
Pogba has compilations as well.
I mean, to be fair, though,
of him in a Juventus shirt.
Compilations of Pogba make you feel like he's the best midfielder we've ever seen in every single generation in world football. So
problem is he's wearing a Juve shirt and have the
I just need to something that was said about United. People are talking about the biggest problem is a manager. The biggest problem isn't the manager; it's the way they run. That's clear to see. That for the last
fair point.
Look at the example today. Look at the example today in the Super Cup. Tuchel takes off the goalkeeper, even though Mendy had a fantastic game. He takes off the goalkeeper that would potentially, if they ended up losing that final, he gets a stick for it, Tuchel, because he's changed the goalkeeper that was playing well the whole game. But he makes those decisions in the Europa League final. I don't think Oli made a single substitution until after the 80th minute, and I don't think he made a single substitution in extra time. These are the sort of things where you make a change. I mean, people said that he had no one on the bench, but if you have extra time, 20, 30 minutes, Dan James with a bit of pace, you try and make a change. You try and make some sort of an impact with these sort of players.
So did you just say Daniel James?
No, but I'm not saying Dan James will make any. I'm saying you need someone with fresh legs in extra time of the game.
Tottenham fans like Man United for some unknown reason. So this is just what happened.
I mean, Marcus Rashford.
You're right.
I mean, the whole game.
I don't want to talk too much because if we're talking about, I feel like my manager's built for the league, full stop. Because if we talk about management, what happened in the Champions League? So.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Pep's his worst enemy, isn't he? So we'll talk about that later on. But I'm sure you can.
We'll get to it.
No, you're right. You are right. Though. You're right.
Anyway, just before Indiana goes, I have Man United finishing outside the top four. It's no hidden secret. I think this season they're gonna have a massive downfall, and I think with my reasoning is very simple. I think Leicester, Chelsea, City, and Liverpool are all three of them in no particular order going to finish in the top three. No particular order whatsoever. Whoever's going to challenge, whoever's going to finish second, third, it does not matter. And I think in the fourth place, because Leicester got past the hurdle the way they won the FA Cup, I'm basically looking at it the same way. Like the season after we won the Champions League, we won the Premier League. This season will be the season where Leicester get past that hurdle, and they've signed very, very well as well in the transfer window with the likes of Boubacar Kamara, I think, and a few other players. They've improved in the squad, so their squad has improved. Rodgers is still manager,
and they've just replaced the defender that got injured today, right?
And they bought in Patson Daka as well, who was linked with Liverpool and Arsenal. So they've made very good signings. So people are just throwing Leicester away. Like they think, they're gonna bottle it again. They won't. I think this season they make fourth place, and just based on that, I think United drop off the top four. I think with this whole the Galacticos they're trying to build, they haven't actually solved any problems, because their problem was right wing, and Slendz and Shaw will know exactly the guy I'm talking to. We've spoken to Mo before, who's a Dortmund fan, who tells us Sancho does not work on the right wing, he works on the left wing. He only works on the right wing in transition. So they haven't really solved that right wing position unless they want to play Greenwood there. Then that's another problem if they play Greenwood, Sancho and Cavani. Then where does Martial play? Where does Rashford play? So I think there are so many problems right now at the club. Wan-Bissaka still lacks creativity going forward. Will Luke Shaw have another good season? What happens to Maguire? There are many questions. De Gea's level, Henderson's level. So people are acting like United are especially with Oli in charge. I honestly have no problem saying this whatsoever. If tomorrow Zidane is appointed as United manager, I am 100% saying United challenge for the title. Now, that just one last thing before Indiana goes on this entire, when they face each other with Klopp and Tuchel and Pep. The problem is not when they play against each other in a game. My problem is when it's squeaky bum time, when it's 2 months left for them to actually challenge for the league. If United, let's assume all four of them are in a title challenge together. Bet money, the first team that drops off is Man United, because you need a manager who mentally keeps you in the game, who keeps you ready for the game, and I don't think Oli has that. So that's why I have them.
No, you're bang on. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Indiana, just heard 5 people thrash your club for 20 minutes straight. So your response?
Just going to clear my throat, man. Okay, so I agree with a lot of what's been said. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the problem, but at the same time, he has been the solution. What I mean by that is by the players we're bringing in, the structure of the club, that's important. If Man United drop out of the top 4, Man United are back because they'll bring in a top manager. I expect a Zidane or someone to come in. I do think people are underrating what this side can do. I really do. I think
it's the manager, not the side.
But I think people are underrating the manager as well. I'm not Ollie in or out. I can't be, because I know what his job is. His job isn't to win titles. His job is to win the club back. Yeah. Right. So people who are looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and comparing him to a Klopp or a Pep.
Hold on, no. You can't just say that like that's just okay.
I'm just saying. I think
it's Manchester United.
I think that's crazy when people seem to think.
I love it, Joe. I love it. It shows the standard falling, and I'm injecting it
to win trophies. Should he be winning a trophy? Yes, he should. This season he has to win a trophy. That has to happen. But I do think there'll be players like Harry Maguire who will shine. Harry Maguire will shine this season.
I think so as well.
Watch how he plays. The way he sets up play, drives forward with the ball. I see that. Don't worry about Sancho. Rachel's 100% right. It'd be a fluid front 3. There are players like Martial who I worry about. He has to have a good season. Has to have a good season. If he has a good season, then we will finish top 4. That will happen because Cavani won't play every game. Greenwood's got another season under his belt. I am worried about the right back position.
Fucking hell, this comment.
I do question Wan-Bissaka. I think Man United will finish 4th at worst. And depending on how Liverpool are, can finish 3rd. I think Man United will surprise people this season.
No, but Indiana, just one question before we move on with this. Like you said, you predict to finish 4th, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, so basically you're saying Chelsea. Okay, I get it. You're saying Chelsea and City are 1st and 2nd. Fair.
Honestly, I think
for Liverpool
5 years we're going to see Chelsea, Man City rivalry happen. That's what we're going to see.
I'd give us 2. I'd give us 2 max. When Pep goes, I expect to change at City big time.
I think Liverpool are done. That's why I call them Leicester Pool, because I think they're only going to win it once. I don't see them coming back.
Indiana, when's the last time you won the league? When's the last time you won the Champions League?
When's the last time you won the league before you just won it? What are you talking about?
We won it in 2020. I don't give a fuck what happened 30 years ago. Last year, we were Premier League champions.
What sort of
the year before that, we were Champions League champions. No one remembers 2020. Indiana, what's funny about this whole Leicester Pool thing? Ferguson built something in 30 years, and Klopp came and fucked this sport. So I'm okay, man. 48 major trophies, Kings of England. Put your Club World Cup on the table. Put your 6 Champions Leagues on the table. Tell me when's the last time you won the Premier League. Come on, you don't want to do this. You honestly don't want to do this. You're not ready. We have double your Champions League titles. Don't talk to me about Liverpool Football Club. In our shit era, we won 2 in 15. In your good era, you won 2 in 30. So allow it, man. Come on, man. Don't speak to me. European royalty, man. Allow it.
I just want top 4.
I can't take any club seriously that bundles all their trophies together and takes one picture and puts it out there.
I'm okay with it. Let the players be happy, man. It's the social media era. Let them take pictures, show their grandchildren and shit. So I'm okay with it, man. Wow. Come on, we don't need to hate on the Instagram post.
Just comment here.
Come on, man. Anyway, speaking.
No, not that comment there. We need to go back. We need to go back to the Arteta comment. That comment right there was comedy gold, bruv. Honestly.
Yeah. I'm not answering that.
Speaking of, actually,
can we get on to Arsenal now? I need cheering up.
Yes, Indiana. I keep trying to fucking segue, but you guys don't let me. So let me fucking segue. Anyway, so obviously we are moving in order of club size. So Chelsea are literally just 2 trophies away from being the 3rd team. So it's peak times for sure right now. Anyway, Community Shield is not a trophy. Anyway, we just move on to Arsenal. Obviously, the biggest joke in London right now.
Let's go.
Today, Aaron Ramsdale linked to Arsenal. Apparently, he's going to sign
You're not doing that.
four relegations in 4 seasons, maybe. You never know. You never know.
It's falling through, bro.
Sure. This is your club. You wait till the end. You wait till the end, show. You wait till the end, okay? You just sat there and shat on Liverpool and United. Let us shit on your club for a second. And I'm going to give the floor to their biggest rivals first. Man like Kish. Tottenham Hotspur, obviously the second biggest joke in London right now. So go ahead. At least you're not number one, Kish. So you have to have a go at Arsenal. Have your moment.
I just and I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans can agree with me on this. I don't know what the direction is with Arsenal, I must admit. They signed Edu as the sporting director a few years ago with the hope that he was going to use his contacts, miracles, and I think almost every one of the signings has been absolute frauds, to be honest. And it seems like it's been Chelsea's back basement that they've seen what reserves they've got left in the piggy bank. I mean, you've seen William come back pre-season. My man looks like he's gone for a pie eating contest or something. So obviously, it's one of them where I understand. We spoke pre-show that the reason why a lot of the British players have been targeted by Arsenal might be because of the quota in terms of having British players in your team. But that, for me, doesn't answer the question of are these the players that they're being linked to and the players that they're going for, like Tammy Abraham, Maddison, Ramsdale, Ben White, are they going to make a huge difference towards the players that they had last season, like an Odegaard who was on loan, a Smith Rowe, those sort of players? Is Tammy Abraham better than a Lacazette or Aubameyang? Is Ben White? Ben White is probably the only one who I think, yes, he is a good player with a lot of potential and he's got a sell-on value as well, longer term. But even Ramsdale, would you say Ramsdale is a better goalkeeper than Leno? I'm not too sure. He just got relegated. So, granted, it wasn't just him, and he did decent for them in a poor season for a team. But you just look at them and you think, if they were to sign the players that they're being linked to, are they going to improve upon 8th last season? I highly doubt it, to be honest, and that's my issue. That is my issue with him because, and Arteta now has no excuse because it seems like he's the board's baby. Because even when all the fans were abusing the Cronkies, he was defending them. Even all the stuff about Ozil that came out, he was defending the board. So he seems like a really good appointment for the board because he's on their side. He's always on their side, and they've now trusted him towards making the decisions like Kolasinac, Ozil, loads of other players, the Greek defender who got let go on a free as well. They've literally probably let go of maybe £1 million a week in wages, I think, probably just from the kind of, the bin jobs. But if you're going to do that, you need to accommodate respectful replacements. And for me personally, I have not seen anyone bar the Ben White, although it's over the top money-wise, that I could truthfully say will prompt them up to top 4, because a lot of the things that people have been saying, no Europa League, so 1 game a week, they can concentrate on that, which makes a difference because Chelsea, when they had it, they won the league. But what you've got to understand is when Chelsea won the league, it was players of quality like Hazard that just weren't performing of the levels that they need to get to. Whereas also, you're now telling someone like a Willian, you're telling someone like a Xhaka to all of a sudden turn into prime Pirlo or prime Gattuso. It's not the same sort of example to have. So yes, I think it's going to be a very, very difficult season. And to be honest, I made a bet with a couple of friends that Arteta will be the first manager in the Premier League to get sacked this season.
Yeah,
fair enough. Obviously, so you don't even expect them to finish on that, improve on that 8th place finish, which is fair, obviously. Sorry, show. Anyway, Slendz, Arsenal Football Club, what's going to happen?
Shout out Laurie, firstly. And let's just pause and say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and smash that like button now.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you, Daps. I'm the host. Go ahead, Slendz.
Wait.
Do it more often then. Do it more often then.
Comment up, man.
We'll do that.
Husam, the comment before that, put it up, man. Vibes FC, man.
I don't know who Rachel is the one putting the things up.
Yeah, this one. Daps, man. They're doing you dirty.
Put it up.
They're doing you dirty.
I killed me that one still.
It's a great comment. Yeah, no, in terms of Arsenal, man, listen, like, I'd love to sit here and banter them and just talk about how, like, they're a washed club and everything, but I'm just going to try to be objective about this. I think, I look at their, the amount of games they'll have this season, I think they'll play a massive part. Like, as a Chelsea fan, we went through it ourselves. I know we had a title-winning squad, but having less games than your competition helps you in the long run. I think they're actually going to surprise people. They're not going to make the top 4, but I think they'll get close to it. And listen, the signings they made Ben White, like, he's not as bad as everyone says he is. I think the profile player he is definitely like suits suits Arteta's system, and I think that's Pep's con, man. But no, I think bro, I look at him and I think he suits the system. Like, he's a ball playing centre back. Everyone cries out for ball playing centre backs. You're replacing David Luiz, who's one of the best ball playing centre backs in the league for me. I look at the signings you could possibly make in Madison. Madison answers a lot of your. I think it's a massive.
Whoa! What was the David Luiz comment?
He's one of the best ball-playing centre-backs in the league for me. He was.
Oh, okay.
Ball playing's fair.
100%.
Yeah, ball playing is fair.
I thought you said actually one of the ball playing. I thought you actually meant as a whole. That's why I was like,
no, they're definitely not. No.
As a whole, no.
I was like, it's gonna be too late, boy.
He's got more trophies than Spurs in the last 20 years, man.
Let's
respect.
More Champions League than City.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, I think, listen.
Go ahead.
More Premier Leagues than Liverpool.
That's wrong. Same number, 1-1.
He's only one.
Is that all it is? Is it 1-1?
Know your facts when you want to come at me, Daps.
You could have stayed at Chelsea and won more trophies. But anyways, now listen, I think Arteta, like, you know what it is? Arteta as a man manager. For fuck's sake. Oh, these comments are wild, bro.
Is that because he doesn't pay up?
Had negotiate a happy ending and a blossom.
Right. You know what? All of this banter around Arsenal, yeah. Let's think about it. There's no pressure on Arsenal no more, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to say that there's no pressure on them.
No, there's bare pressure. There's bare pressure.
No, listen, I don't think so, though.
See the way how you lot are
going
going. Listen, yeah. The thing is, yeah. Sorry,
who expects you to finish ahead of 8th? Tell me, who expects you to hit? Does anyone expect
no one
you to do that?
pressure.
No one expects it, yeah. No one expects it. The only fucking thing is you guys are going to remind us every single fucking day.
Of course, because listen. I grew up getting shut down by Arsenal fans constantly. Like, most of my friends are Arsenal fans. So I am going to remind you all day long. But you lot are shit. Like...
This ain't my segment. Go ahead, you man cook.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Go ahead, Slendz. Go ahead.
Last thing I'll say is I actually think I predicted them to finish 5th. I know I might sound mad and delusional, but I think the amount of games you're playing and the signings they could possibly make, when you look at Madison, you look at who else you link to. Obviously Ramsdale, I don't think that's happening anymore, but if you sign probably another striker, Bernardo Silva will be a great signing as well.
Bernardo Silva's washed as well anyway, so what the...
That's just because he walks away from your... That's just because he walks away.
You know what, Daps? If he just fucking clapped like a normal human being, his career would have continued. He just needed to be the player on the pitch with the biggest dick, and I'm not going to clap for Liverpool. And his career has been on the down trajectory ever since, so I'm happy he can go to Atletico and play left back.
He's an impactful player. Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, very impactful. Tell me the impact he made last season. The season before.
I love how you say that season.
This is the impact he made.
That game, that season, like, come on. Bernardo Silva's done a lot for City.
Yeah, one season wonder. I agree 100%. That one season, amazing. After that, absolutely shit. He would not even get in our
Thank you.
Two seasons.
I rate him very, very
One
high.
Season wonder. Anyway, Slendz, you done?
Yeah, apparently, according to Romano, he's not coming to Arsenal anyways. He wants to go to Champions League.
Yeah. Anyway, Indiana just been destroyed with United. You're like this is your rival when you were relevant. So anyway, go ahead. Your thoughts on Arsenal.
They want to hear this shit.
Okay. So our rivals when you weren't relevant. We can put it either way you want. I'm not worried.
Yeah. Now we're relevant.
Arsenal, when it comes to the Premier League, are back. And the reason why I say Arsenal are back, right, is because, no, seriously, there's no European football.
Well, you're back because you're getting fucked up the arse.
Whatever you like. What I'm saying is, no European football. You've got 9 centre backs to choose from. There should be there should be a pairing in there somewhere. There has to be a pairing in there somewhere. You have Pepe. I'm told so much about Pepe. Like, wow. And then you brought Willian to replace him, which means he's obviously better than Pepe, which is another next level again. Then you have a Aubameyang and Lacazette. Emil Smith Rowe, the golden child. Xhaka is staying. They convinced him to stay. I think Arsenal, they should finish in top 6. In all seriousness, like there is anything lower than 6. That is a failed season, and I agree. I think Arteta gets sacked if you don't finish in the top 6.
Indiana. Sorry, I might have misheard you.
One second.
I just want to ask you a question. Indiana, did you say?
One second. We'll continue with the Arsenal thing, but Slendz needs to shoot. So Slendz, before you go, just obviously Chelsea is next. So just tell us what do you think Chelsea will do, and then you can hop off.
I'm afraid it's another trophy for us, man. I think we're winning it. If I don't say I'm winning it, then I'm honestly like I'm not.
What, the league?
League Cup.
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah.
Listen, League Cup. Now I think we've spent 97.5 million on a striker who's a proven striker. Whatever everyone wants to say about his touch and whatever they want to say about his time at United, I think he's a goal scorer. The current player we have that's wearing number 11 isn't a great goal scorer. He's a great runner off the ball, apparently, Ivana. And he frustrates me a lot, to be honest. He frustrates me a lot. So I've got a striker now, and you know what? I got to back my team, and I think we're going to win the league, man.
Fair enough. Slendz, thank you so much for joining us, people. Do support Slendz on his channel as well. Slendz,
go and subscribe to his channel, man. Make sure you do that.
Where can they find you, Slendz? Okay, never mind. You can find him at Slendz Talks at YouTube. So go and search up Slendz Talks and subscribe to his channel. The man doesn't want to shout out himself, so I'll do it for him. Anyway, Daps, continue, battering Arsenal.
No. I might have misheard what. Indiana, were you saying Arsenal were back? I might have misheard you. Did you say Arsenal are back?
Listen, let me just clarify this for you. Shox knows about this. He knows about this.
I know.
If Arsenal win, they are back. If they lose, they are back. The only time they are not back is if they draw. Arsenal are always back.
I had no idea what you just said, honestly. But
I get what you're saying.
So
I'm just smiling.
When Arsenal lose, they're back to being Arsenal. When they win, they're back to being Arsenal. Arsenal are always back. You just never know with Arsenal. You don't know what you're going to get.
And that's why the lack of pressure might help them.
Yeah, but they should have more pressure. They should have more pressure.
No, they can't. They've had so much. No, they've had so much pressure, man.
You can't say there's no pressure, man. It's already toxic. It's already toxic at this moment in time. Like not one ball has been kicked in the Premier League. There's no pressure thing.
Listen, hold on. The thing is, so firstly, when you said Arsenal are back, then you said I think they'll finish in the top 6. That made me chuckle. That if Arsenal finish in the top 6, they're back.
But that's
part of the big 6.
Everyone's going to tell us about how they went unbeaten for a season, and you're talking about if they finish in the top 6,
they
they're
give
back.
themselves a little gold trophy. I'm not having this at all. The whole unbeaten 12.
Agreed, but come on, we all have it. That's all we hear.
We deserve to.
That's all we hear.
Shut up, man.
That's what I mean. That's why the pressure's on, right? Because they've got no European football. They've signed players. The pressure should be on them. What's Arteta in his third season?
I'm hearing it.
You know what?
It's triggering me, bro. Yeah.
I've got to a point now where, for years, Arsenal fans, I've wanted to go at them because of everything they put me through. Right? I used to get told by my best friend before we won anything, don't talk. You can't talk football. You support City, right? Therefore, when I look at what we've won 5 Premier Leagues now. 5? Is it 5? 5. How many have Arsenal won? Less. Okay, so our golden era is now bigger than Arsenal's. No one will say that. Arsenal fans won't accept that. But it's got to a point. It has got to a point now where Arsenal ain't banter no more. They're not banter no more. They're shit. It's not banter. They're shit.
Arteta's got 2 trophies in 2 seasons, man. Love it.
What kind
Yeah,
of
Community
is
Shield,
that?
man.
massive trophy. Yo, Daps,
Yeah.
do you think the Centurions were better than the Invincibles?
The
I'm not going to
invisible.
get drawn into that because it's just like on it. Is Foden better than Mount? All that's just long. It's
Yeah, he is.
so. No, but I'm not like for me. It's all about if you can challenge on more than one trophy. When we won 3, we're challenging on more than one. But I'm not going to downplay going a whole season without being beaten, without slipping up once is great. But
You're my
football
guy.
changes. It's just who's better, Pele
Don't
or
do that.
Messi? It's just
Don't
one
do
of
I like
them
that.
ones.
No, I like him. I like him already, man. I like.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're-
Okay,
you're-
fair enough. That
Listen, I
What
think
a
you're
you're,
fucking
even though Arsenal
that
fans like was chatting shit to you the entire time, when you were a child, you were actually very nice to them. So anyway, fair enough.
I'm
Fair
nice,
enough.
man. Daps is good.
To
You're
each
cool,
their
man.
own.
I like what you
Let
did.
me
there.
let me just.
Good speech.
I think all jokes aside, with Arsenal, I put Arsenal to finish fifth. I'm not even gonna lie about it. That's where I predicted them to finish. I think there are two scenarios. Either Arteta coaches those bums 6 days and they actually win, or Arteta is a bum himself. He gets sacked, and then a better manager comes in, and then he coaches those bums, and then they win. I know exactly how it is to play one game a week. I've been there. I've done that. I've seen that actually makes a difference. Because when you have a shit team and you just play one game a week, huge difference to when you're playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. In Arsenal's case, obviously Thursdays recently. But when you play one game a week, totally different scenario. One game a week will make a huge difference. And I think finishing fifth is not that unrealistic, especially with the money they're investing. They're investing in wrongly, but they're still investing money in, at least. Like they're bringing in new players and etc. I think finishing fifth is definitely a possibility for them. And it just depends what happens with Arteta, to be honest. Because if Arteta gets sacked after 5 to 6 games, for example, and then they bring in a serious manager in, and then that serious manager has 32 Premier League games to go, I think they could at least put in a challenge for the top 4. Not get into it. They won't get into it. I'm just saying put a challenge in for the top 4.
Yeah.
At least be a part of that race to begin with. So Show, I did to you what you did not do to me, and be respectful to my FC show. I'm gonna remember
No,
this
I'm
though,
always respectful.
and come back to you. And the answer to all or nothing is nothing. So go ahead. So respond, Mr. Arsenal. Fly Emirates, nowhere to fly to. Go ahead, my guy.
All right, cool. What you just said there, yeah, play one game a week. I do believe. I agree. However, I don't have faith in the players that we have. Genuinely, Husam's always on the spaces. Indiana, you're there as well, man. You guys hear how much I go in on this team. Yeah, I don't have any faith in this team only because of how we are run from the top going down. Simple as. I look at this team as a mess, and I don't see it as a quick fix. Yes, we're making these signings. Okay, you said Ben White, right? Kish, right? Yes, I like Ben White.
Yeah.
When I heard about the price tag of him, I weren't happy. But then I got to this kind of thing and I said, well, you know what? Yeah, as long as Arsenal actually bring in the right signings that they actually need to improve the team, then I don't care about how much any of them cost. Facts. Just spend the money wisely. Do what you have to do and fill the gaps. We're looking at this Ramsdale thing. I don't think you lot actually realize, because you don't watch every minute of Arsenal, you don't actually realize how bad Leno is as a goalkeeper. Yes.
Oh, no, we do.
I do.
Okay, as long as you don't actually understand, because you know what, yeah, I can tell you that guy cost us way more points than what we just saw, where it was caused from direct mistakes. 1 second, Indiana. So we would look at Leno pass to Xhaka, and Xhaka would panic and pass it to someone else, lose the ball, and then it's a goal. And then just looked at, that's a Xhaka mistake. No. It was a Leno mistake, because what he put him in that situation, he should have known that Xhaka was not good at a situation like that. Leno's IQ levels are really fucking low. We always talk about players with their IQ and the correct decisions that they make, know who they're passing and when to pass. Leno is fucking horrible.
So you're Martinez over Leno all day long.
Facts. All fucking day, every day, bro. But hold on 1 second. I do genuinely think that there's something in Leno's contract that said to him that he is always going to be the number one. Hence why we made the decision to sell Martinez. Yes, I am not saying that's the right thing to do. Bro,
That's
what?
madness. You can't tell a player he's always going to be the number one.
I don't
starter
think
in
that
position.
exists in I don't think
Of
that
course
even
it exists.
exists
If
in
you're
contract.
promised the number one shirt in your contract that you're going to be playing, you're going to play
Yeah, but
this
people break
amount of
promises
days,
all the time. You
guaranteed.
just fucked him off, sold him.
Right, okay then. Now, one thing we can all say is that Arsenal do not like to spend or pay money anywhere. Facts. That's
You
a
bought
fact.
Pepe, man. You like to spend money. I'm not having that.
Yeah, but you have
Yeah,
spent
we've
money.
got-
Sure.
we've
You
got
can't say
Pepe,
you don't
we've got
spend money.
Pepe, We've got
You
Pepe.
spend it, but not correctly is fair. But you do spend money though.
But
The-
do you
the
not
money
think
you've
that
got
these
Willian
men would
on,
spend money on a contract or on a clause? They would rather
Do you know
keep
what?
that back. Fact.
Actually, you know what? One issue I've got with
Petr Cech,
Arsenal.
one second,
is-
brother. When Petr
Yeah,
Cech first came into this club, right, and he was the number one keeper, and we bought Leno, we could all see that Leno was better than Petr Cech. We could all see he was dead at penalties. He couldn't catch in the air. He would always punch away. Leno was always holding bench and only playing in the Europa games or in the games. That tells me that Cech was promised number one at all the games. Fact.
So that's what I was going to say. My issue.
Said you're going to
Can I just back you on that one point, quick?
And you're going to be the new number one.
Can I just back you on that point? That's what I was going to say. I've noticed it with Arsenal so many times. You buy players, right? And I'm not saying bring them in and first game they go free every single game, right? I get that. You have to, but the amount of times you buy players and it takes you like a season and a half to actually start playing them. And by that, like Lacazette is the perfect example. He came in, right? He got bench wages. Then you brought in another striker. And then once Lacazette's confidence was so low, now let's start him.
Now we're going to play him.
His confidence is gone. You've just bought him as a big boy signing, and you're not playing him. And I see it with you lot so many times. Like, I don't get it. And it might be a contract thing. Might be.
Can I just clarify? Is Ramsdale brought in as a number one or as a backup?
Willian played so many games.
Yeah, well, I know that one.
In a contract thing to say this guy has to play this much minutes. We got all their minutes out at the beginning of the season, and all of a sudden he doesn't play as much because now you're starting seeing more of Pepe, more of Saka, more of this man, That's what I believe. I think. Look, I take for instance when we had Mislintat, the contract negotiator the scout that came in, bought all these players. Right, he left. Next season, what was the first thing Arsenal did? They sold all the players that Mislintat brought in. Why? Some of these players are actually fucking gems. Look at Saliba. Look at Guendouzi. You look at literally the only players that are playing that was brought in under Mislintat is Leno and Tierney. Every single other person is gone. Gone. We are dead at contract. Something about our negotiation problem is there's a problem. There's definitely a problem. Go on, Indiana. Say, Brett.
Ramsdale, has he been brought in as the number one or the two?
Why are you asking me? I am not on that fucking board, bro. I would not even have brought that bread.
You're an Arsenal fan. That's why I'm asking you.
No, because
number one, Indiana. Number one. I think they see themselves in a relegation battle. They want to get someone who's experienced. And that's part of.
All right, I think you're finishing seventh.
Yeah, bro. Hey, listen. Cool. All right, listen. I can't even remember half the points that all of you guys made. Yeah, I was on some mad rant. And listen, I get so emotional when Husam knows, innit? When I talk about Arsenal, I get vexed, I start shouting, I start drinking, and all of a sudden it just turns into a shit show where I can't even defend the team properly. Like, I'm letting you know right now, yeah. In terms of
where do you finish?
Yeah. I think we're going to be fine. Look, a successful season for me, and this is how you know Arsenal falling mad far, is because really and truly, within a decent points tally of finishing, fighting for the top four. So you know,
that's not falling. That's an improvement.
Oh, 100% it's an improvement. But I'm talking about the mighty Arsenal, best team in London, and that, yeah, top team in London, yeah. In terms of what we were,
can't even say it with a straight face.
I know, bro. Even I had to laugh at that. But in terms of what we was, the club stature and all of that kind of stuff, that is a shit show to be talking about fighting for top four.
You've got nice kits. You've got nice kits.
You what?
You've got nice kits.
The third kit. I think Arsenal's third kit is nice. Anyway, we have to move on. Enough of Arsenal. I'm actually going to keep the mic with Show. It's time to talk about the second biggest joke in London. Tottenham Hotspur, you know. You know, like I don't even know if that club, like that club is just a total joke, man. Like I just don't know where Spurs are heading right now. Like I just don't see it. You hire Nuno, who's a defensive manager, after sacking Jose just before a final because he's a defensive manager. The club decisions, I like even the transfer window you've had so far, Romero or whoever the fuck you're signing, like not really bothered about any of them. The only one that would bother me a little bit is Lautaro Martinez. That's the only one who would go like, oh, okay, you've actually signed someone of quality. But besides that, I think Tottenham are going nowhere fast, to be honest. I think Tottenham are done. That club right now can't even win a trophy under Jose, so I have no idea where they're going. The direction is not clear. Nothing significant is happening at that club in terms of decision making as well. So problem after problem after problem. Might lose Harry Kane, which is obviously massive loss for them. So it depends how they use that money. There's just so many questions when it comes to Tottenham. Obviously playing in the Conference League against Sporting Latvia and stuff. So that's a new experience for them. So anyway, who do I go for? Show, are you here?
You're not very biased as a host.
Okay, Show's not here. So anyway, go ahead. Nah. Listen, you can't tell me don't be biased when you sat there and all hammered my club for 10
I didn't hammer your club. Go back and watch.
You didn't, but the others did. You didn't, Daps. You look very nice in that shirt and stuff, so you're just feeling good and stuff. So anyway, let's go to you first. Anyway, your
I
rival.
never hammered your club. I didn't hammer your club. I was respectful.
Show.
No, listen. If you don't say Liverpool are going to win everything, you're hammering their club.
Yeah, that's right. No one hammered Liverpool, man.
Top four. Okay, all right, cool. Shit. Then.
Yeah. You can't say top four.
You absolutely took
we finished fucking third with Nat Phillips and Reece Williams. How can you say
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Anyway. Listen. The topic is Tottenham. So we'll start with Show because we've been starting with the rivals and shit. So go ahead. This is your time to cook.
Right, Tottenham. Yeah. I think big mistake letting go of Mourinho in the final. That could have been your reset button. I think that was a fuck up.
You know, the decision to sack him was due to money, right? You know, because we were seventh in the league for that weekend that he got sacked. We paid him less to sack him because of the positioning.
Was that
all financial? We paid him 6 million less.
Nah. I'm sorry, but if you lot are going to be spending all this money in the transfer window, regardless of even selling Harry Kane, apparently you lot are looking at Lautaro Martinez, right? Yeah, and that's to play alongside with Harry Kane, which means You're going to fork out that money. You lot could have at least spent that 6 million to win a trophy. I'm sorry, like that's to me. That's not.
I think the problem was longer term. If Mourinho wins the League Cup, then there's no way you can sack him. You know, that's the thing because if Daniel Levy then sacks him at the end of the season after winning the League Cup, it doesn't leave a good taste, particularly for Tottenham, who've not won a trophy for I think it's 13 years now. So yeah.
Okay, just to rebuttal that, yeah, all the Tottenham fans wanted him out regardless, whether he won or not, right? So if he would have won that, didn't United sack Mourinho after he won the Europa and the FA Cup?
No. It was a season after they came second, but they didn't win anything that season.
Okay, well, that's still an achievement for them to turn around and actually go and sack him for that. Yes, they were playing horrible football. They had shit players and they weren't doing what they did, but that's second in the Premier League and that's only behind Manchester City. That's an achievement. I'm sorry, but cool story. Whatever.
Small Manchester City.
Huh?
Small Manchester.
We're talking about Tottenham. Why? Relax. We're talking about Tottenham. Let Show finish. Tell me where Tottenham finish as well.
All right, yeah. So I think that David Hill, a good signing. The other guy you signed at centre back. I forgot his name now.
Romero.
Right? Good signing. Then I saw what you guys did to us the other day at Spurs. Even though it was a 1-0, it was scrappy. It was a pre-season. That's still good. Shows that you guys are, I guess, rising up, and that we're still literally stagnant. Whatever, even with the signings we've made and so on. So I don't know. Nuno. I don't really. When he was at Wolves in his first season, when he came up, I liked him as a manager. He kind of started to dip after that. Maybe with Tottenham's resources, he could actually do something valuable with this team. I don't see you guys making top four. I think again, I don't see you winning the what's it called?
Conference League.
The Conference League. I don't see you guys winning that. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Is it mad saying top six? Do I have to be specific at what position, or do I just say top six?
The top 6 outside the top 6, wherever you want.
I say you lot, but then again, I don't see Man United making it, and I think we're going to do it. So, and Leicester are going to obviously be there or about. Oh, you know what? Top 8.
Top 8. Fair enough. Jay, I just want to say to you, you're smoking the most expensive drug because there's no Chelsea fan on the panel right now. Show supports Arsenal, so please, focus on what you're saying. Anyway, Daps, Tottenham Hotspur, the club that knocked you out of the Champions League. That's why you can't put your Champions League on the trophy right now on the table. So obviously, this is how I know.
You're fishing, man. You're fishing.
No, I'm not
you're
fishing.
talking how many seasons ago, bruv? You know what? I was going to get you a better. I was going to land you better than you landed yourself. Talking so many seasons ago. I'll say it. Tottenham, who beat us on the first game of the season this season. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree. They are beating you, but that has nothing to do with the fact they kicked you out of the Champions League with a perfectly good goal from Llorente when Pep dropped on his knees and stuff. I was injecting it, to be honest. Like, here's the thing: you're trying to force a rivalry with me, but like you both down there.
I'm not. You know, like, you keep saying it. Bruv,
that's very rivalry.
I complimented your side, bruv. I'm forcing nothing. You keep commenting on my attire, which is kind of controversial. Look,
controversial.
Tottenham, you're bringing up Tottenham putting this out. Yeah, Tottenham used to be better than us. So did everyone. Well done. Right? I don't know what that is. Like, small city winning the league, great. Tottenham will beat us on the first game of the season, I believe. Okay.
I agree. So where do you think they'll finish this season?
If they keep Kane, however much I don't want Kane at City, Kane is a numbers man, and Kane will be the difference for Tottenham. I don't really get what's going on at Tottenham because I've got some thoughts that what they're doing is bringing in players to replace Kane. And then I've got some people saying, no, actually, these players are coming in to play alongside. I just think their squad at the moment is not cutting it. It's their squad. Son, amazing. Kane, amazing. Apart from that, who are we screaming, really? Like,
no one.
I get the defender they just bought looks good. The defender that looks good that they've just bought, but that's if we're going by Arsenal, where we just follow YouTube. Like, we have to watch him in the league, but he does look good. Tottenham are a mad one for me. I don't know. It's a bit like Liverpool. Who would have thought that come November last season, Tottenham would be top, and they were. So.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
You can't really call it because if I sit here and say it, their squad is not as good as Chelsea, City, or United's, or Liverpool's. To be fair, Liverpool's is a bit controversial because of injuries.
Arsenal. What the fuck, Daps? What was you about to say?
Pause. I don't know. Listen, because. The good thing that Arsenal have is social media and so many fans that talk up all of your players. Like, I don't really ever know how good Arsenal players are because Arsenal fans tell me that, like, who was that DM back in the day that I got told was the best DM in the league, the French Don?
Torreira.
Nah, before him.
Diaby.
No.
He's a box to box, but
Guendouzi. Are you talking about Guendouzi?
He's French.
Guendouzi.
No, he had like one good season, and Arsenal fans were like, "He's the next big thing," and then disappeared.
How long ago?
Oh,
Coquelin. Arsenal fans were screaming. I even had Arsenal fans calling Guendouzi a baller. Right? Imagine headless chicken. No, he's a headless chicken, bruv. Look, he's a DM. DMs don't go running forward. DMs know about.
He's never a DM.
This is the Spurs section.
It
is. You're right. So with Spurs, it's just all up in the air because it's a new manager who we don't know what he's going to do. Is Kane going to stay? We don't know. Look,
I agree.
I'm screaming, all I will say is if I'm saying who's finishing above who out of Arsenal and Tottenham are finishing above Arsenal. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, fair enough. Indiana?
I disagree.
But you said Arsenal are back.
Go on, yeah.
No, did you not,
Go on,
just
brother.
say Spurs finish above Arsenal?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you just said Arsenal are back.
No, but you said Arsenal are back.
Hmm.
And I'm saying Spurs finish above Arsenal, and you said you disagree.
Yeah.
So Arsenal,
What's the
big
confusion
Arsenal, used to win stuff. You're now saying Arsenal are back, but
I'm confused.
oh
I don't
no,
know.
no, I agree with you. You're
He's saying Arsenal finish above Tottenham because we're back. You're saying that Tottenham.
Yeah, I get it.
I think I like Nuno. I think he's a good manager. I don't think he's a great manager, but I think he's a good manager. I do question Spurs squad. Man like Dorothy at right back, I wouldn't want him at United. I would not want that at all. Eric Dyer, I'm not a big fan of Dyer at all.
Same.
Lloris, great keeper. Big fan of Højbjerg. I would have taken him at United. Big fan of
Agreed.
Højbjerg. I rate him highly. Son, incredible player. Whether you can keep Harry Kane, I don't know. I think what holds Spurs back is the fact that teams like Leicester being in the top 6 and Arsenal not having Europe, because I really do think Arsenal will finish above Spurs.
Fair point.
I've actually got a Spurs fan, Josh, who's bet me 500 quid that Spurs will finish above Man United. So
Wow.
Easy money.
I've already
Easy
had
money.
this.
Easy money.
Indiana, congratulations on winning 500
Congratulations on your win.
Congratulations.
on your win, bro.
There's no
it
fucking
started
way
off with
Spurs are
50p
finishing
and then it got
above
me,
Man
but
United.
whatever.
No,
First,
no way.
first 11 looking lit next year, boy, with that investment right there. You get me, bro?
Right,
Based on what? Why did he
But
do?
all
When
right.
did he do that? Recently.
About a month ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 3.5 weeks.
Then he
ago.
really is like, I don't know who the
My-
fuck
my
Josh
point-
is,
my
but
point
you
is-
need to ask
Give me
God
that.
for guidance. Like, bro, that's just wrong, my guy. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
How the
listen,
fuck do you
I-
come
I
up to
just
that
think-
conclusion, man?
I think
Just Marv just said, here's 500.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
look at Magic. Can I bet him
Here's
too?
the thing. Here's the big thing I want to say. And for Spurs, for me, they have to win a trophy or finish in the top 4, or they can no longer be called a top 6 side if Leicester do anything. Leicester already picked up a trophy.
Yeah, that's 2 before Tottenham. That's mad.
And
you know what?
I actually think it's. Listen, my older brother's a Spurs fan. My younger brother's a Spurs fan, and I think it's disrespectful that we just discount Leicester when they challenge in the top 4 and they pick up trophies. Spurs have been 13 years and they're slipping further and further away. I think it's mad.
You know
I
what?
think it's madness.
You know what? I agree with you 100%. You've just got to get football Twitter behind you, because it's 100% right. They can't keep sitting there in the top 6 winning nothing based on vibes and inshallah. They can't.
I think Spurs. I think Spurs have finished 7th or 8th.
That's fair. That's not even crazy. That's very fair. And speaking of Spurs, Kish,
Yes.
after hearing all 4 of us,
It's
what
a
do you
weird one
say?
because obviously it seems like I was going to the job centre and the Spurs job was available. It seemed like every single manager, like everyone, even like the Tesco manager around the corner was offered it and rejected it. It was way. I mean, I've never seen a managerial job publicised that much over social media ever. It was very, very strange how it was getting leaked that about 1,000 managers on the alphabetical list rejected it weekly. But it's weird because in the end, we ended up getting probably our 10th choice manager in Nuno, who, to be honest, I think did a very good job at Wolves. I think in the 3 seasons, he came 7th. And if you remember, it was a striker that got injured last season. And then he only had Andres, I think the young Portuguese striker who was 18 to replace him, which just didn't, you can't expect him to lift them to, 10, 15 goals, when he's 18 years of age. So yeah, I think he did well based on the resources that he had. Paratisi, I said this pre-show, I'm a massive, massive fan of him. I think for Spurs in particular, I don't really think you can make a judgment on them until the transfer window is closed, because there's so many things that can happen. I.e., if Harry Kane stays, and we do get someone like a Lautaro Martinez, which I don't think we will, but if we hypothetically did, it completely changes the surroundings of the team. But then if Kane goes, then we're in shit, you know. And then even on the replacements that we have been linked to, Vlahovic from Fiorentina, which I know you're a big fan of, Husam. But again, he's had one good season in the Italian league. It will take him time to bed in. And then
No, Vlahovic is it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Telling you right now, if you sign Vlahovic, he is it 100%.
No, but again, there's still never a guarantee. Like you said, it might take a season to bed these players in. That's my big question. But look, Paratici, if you give him 150 million, I do trust him. I think we're in a different situation to the Bale money, where Kamoli, who got sacked by Liverpool, was also given the opportunity to have a big pot of money to just sign absolute nobodies. I mean, the embarrassing meme of Lamela still being there when Bale comes back was, I mean, I think he scored more goals last season, Bale, than Lamela did in his entire Premier League career. But what I do like the work that he's done, Paratici, so far. I mean, he's got rid of Danny Rose, Lamela, Sissoko's on his way. Joe Hart, we got a transfer fee for, which I can't believe.
Leave him alone. Leave Joe Hart alone.
Yeah.
He's got a trophy.
Well, there you go. We got 15.
I don't understand how he was that. Pep walked in and said, "No,
your goalkeeper's Lamela." So
what I'm saying is we've got some decent money for Deadwood. We got like 13 million for Alderweireld at 33, which I don't know how we've done. So it seems to me like his negotiation skills are fantastic. I mean, the Gil one, if you think about it, we signed a young prospect who's supposed to be right up there in Spain for 20 million. We've got rid of Lamela's wages and we're paying Gil half the wages that we gave to Lamela. So it already shows initially that it's working. Romero, I know what you said at the beginning. For me, he is a fantastic defender. If you're going to talk about Ben White being a great signing, you're talking about someone who has Champions League experience with Atlanta. His progression was fantastic last season. I think he was named Italy's best defender last year in the Italian league. And in a defensive league, which is what people say about the Italian league, you can't ignore that. And he also won the Coppa for Argentina, which he was a big focal point of before he got injured in the end. So, again, it's still very early days, and it's a transitional season. It's a transitional season, but it reminds me of pre-Pochettino in a way, where we got Pochettino from Southampton when we were at that stage where we were 7th or 8th in the league, just after Harry Redknapp and Sherwood and all the debacle we had thereafter. So it seems to me like we've gotten to a similar position where, you know, we've picked out Nuno, and hopefully he'll do a good job. I mean, I'm not hoping for top 4 this season, if I'm honest. I'm hoping for, if we can get top 6 for me, that's not a fantastic season, but for me, in a progression stage, it's a good season. But again, I can't really dictate where we're going to be until the transfer window's over, because I genuinely think, I've heard from a lot of journalists, in particular Romano, with the players that we could be going for if the money comes in. So I think a lot could happen between now and the end of the transfer window.
Can we just get your take on
before
Kane
we move on? Last question, because we'll have to
go. Sorry, Indiana, what were you saying?
You're because obviously you're the Spurs fan. Do you feel that Harry Kane should be moved right now?
Yeah, that's what I was going to
100%. Listen, I've had many debates about this, and I'm not the sort of fan who says, look, the way he's conducted himself is atrocious. And if it was not, well, we obviously know the names. If it was other players that did the same certain thing, that, you know, it'd be on the front page and it'd be all over social media. But the one thing I would say is the only way, in my opinion, Kane was to get a move is by what he's doing right now. Because if he was a consummate professional and trained and didn't create a fuss, Daniel Levy would be like, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing. Yeah. The only way he can get a move is by doing this. There's no shouts about that. And at this stage, 28 years of age, he's got 3 years left on his contract. If we get even close to 150 million, I'm talking 120 million, I'd take it. Even if the rumours were true of 100 million plus Laporte. I
don't want to do it. Don't want to do it.
I would take it.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
Fair enough.
I don't want to do that.
I just want to ask Kish one thing with the Conference League. Do you expect Tottenham to win it?
No, because I've got a feeling there's going to be a certain Jose Mourinho in the final. I think we will get to the final. And I just think it'll be typical for him to put a couple of fingers up at us in that.
We love
That's
that.
why
That
I
would
see.
be.
I see a Roma versus Tottenham final. I've actually put money on it. I put 50 quid on it the other day.
What's the
That
outcome?
would be
What's the
amazing.
winners?
That
What's
would
the
be
winners?
amazing. Yeah. That would be amazing. Anyway, the last club
Hand
to
up.
discuss, Manchester
Hand up.
City.
Hand up real quick. Is it Indiana's channel?
Yes.
Indiana, this panel is very good, you know. No, honestly, like joking aside, the panel, is apart from the host, who's a personality and a half. The panel's actually really balanced, which is quite good. Like,
Yeah, we needed to throw something in, so Husam was the best choice.
no, he's a personality. I love this guy.
Daps.
This guy's brilliant.
Let me just tell you something, Mr. The host is biased. I recommended Show, and I recommended Kish, and I recommended Slendz as well. So
Did you
what are you
recommend
gonna
me?
say about that?
Well. Do you know what? You can have a trophy for that, mate. Well done. No, I'm just going to say it is.
I'll take that one because apart from the Audi Cup,
You're really telling me about trophies.
I'll be honest.
It was
You
a
do realize you're talking to a Liverpool Football Club fan, and you're telling me about trophies.
Yeah, how old are you?
Are you mad? Are you mad?
How old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
So
I've
really,
seen 4 Champions League finals. 2 of them been wins. How many have you seen? One of them being in our banter era.
yeah, but we're
And
not
I've seen
Liverpool.
the best
We're
Champions
very
League finals.
Listen,
I've seen
compare
the
us to
fucking-
Rochdale, bruv. Compare us to Rochdale.
Doesn't
We're
matter.
still up.
Doesn't
Can't
matter.
fill our
I've
stadium
seen.
and that.
You know what? You've seen Daps. You've seen your club go down to League 2, which I've never. seen. So,
I have.
Don't. Okay,
I have.
I've never seen that. While you were in League 2, we were winning the Champions League.
You know what?
Let's
Because if
move
you
on.
saw that,
Let's move
if you
on.
saw
Let's
that,
move
you'd
on.
probably now be
Let's move
supporting
on.
Everton.
No. I lived through the Jay Spearing, Nathan Eccleston, Milan Jovanovic.
To be fair, your legend has the worst meme of all time. The slip. That is the worst meme of all time. Like
The Gerrard thing.
never forget.
How am I getting bantered by a Spurs fan?
Because your
You're
legend,
playing in
your
the
legend is
Conference
known.
League
Your
against
legend is
players
known
who'll
for
be
the biggest
electricians
failure.
in the morning. You do
Your
realize
legend
that.
is known for
You're going to be
falling
playing
on
against
some
someone
shit.
who's a plumber from 8 to 5 and then plays football against you. And you actually, this guy's trying to go at me, man. Allow it.
No, but
I needed
how
to hear
is
the
it? How can you
freestyle.
comprehend
The
that your
freestyle
legend
part. That's
is
what I'm
known
here
for
for.
falling on shit? Like
How can you
Don't get
comprehend
him started on
that
Gerrard,
my
don't.
legend is bigger than your entire club? Tell me.
He's like a kid.
Gerrard won
Don't
Champions
mention
League,
Gerrard.
Spurs 0
Don't
Champions
do
League.
it.
Done. Don't talk about Gerrard, man. You don't have
Yeah, please
you don't have the
don't.
facilities
Please
for
don't.
it.
We've
You don't have the
got-
facilities for
Right.
it whatsoever.
So this started off with
Now,
many
can we
compliments.
fucking move on to City? It's 3 fucking a.m. in here. I need to sleep, my guy.
I
Let's
was
just talk
trying to
about
give you a compliment. I was trying to give you a compliment. You just don't take
okay,
them
give me
very
a compliment. Go ahead.
well. You're a good host, biased, but you're a very funny character.
Nah, I'm not biased. I'm not biased.
The rest of the panel is very balanced and possibly the most balanced football fans I've met for a minute. So
Balance my ass. Anyway, just with City, obviously,
Likes, guys.
Yeah, like and
Yes,
subscribe, everyone.
people, please do smash the like button if you're yet to do so. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are yet to do so. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And one more thing, when the video is uploaded on YouTube, please do go in the comment section and just let us know your thoughts on the show and all that good stuff. So anyway, moving on, Man City. I think Man City, I'm just going to keep it short and simple. I think they sign Kane, they win the title. I think they don't. They fall off of the title race, obviously, and I think Daps agreed earlier as well. Ferran Torres being up front is not good enough. De Bruyne as a false 9, very good, but I don't know if that wins a league title against Chelsea with Lukaku.
agreed.
Or Liverpool if we're really lucky. So I think with City losing the Champions League final will have a negative effect, I think, in my opinion. And I've never seen out of a Pep camp like this much of negative comments come out of his camp before. And obviously with the thing that Aguero's dad said and stuff, like maybe if I'm being completely honest, maybe the players just have a bit of doubt in the back of their head regarding what Pep's telling them. So
Hold on, one second.
that's why I have City.
What did Pep's dad say?
Aguero's dad was criticizing Pep, and I think Zinchenko's wife was criticizing Pep for the.
Hold on. Zinchenko's wife criticised Pep a year ago. Since then, we've won the league with Zinchenko at left back, so that's void.
Yeah. She criticised him because he
Yes,
wasn't
yes,
playing.
yes. But Aguero's dad actually criticized him as well this summer.
Okay, so Aguero after
Aguero's
season
dad
on
criticised him for saying that he's leaving.
Aguero, who spent a whole season on the bench with COVID 3 times. Come on, man. There's a lot of things you can say about Pep. Maybe it's the fact that we need to refresh our team because they've, the same as I said about Mane and Salah, done a lot. I think our team is just needs a refreshment a little.
He is
bit.
quite clever though, Pep, isn't he? Like when they said about we can't afford the big bucks for big players, and then he pays 100 million for Grealish. He said, no. We got 40 million in the bank last season, so technically he's actually 60 million. So that's how we can afford. It's like,
anything Pep
He's doing a good job.
No, listen to Pep.
Put Vibes FC comments. This is basically what Aguero's dad said. That's like if we want to summarize it. Humpty Dumpty faking his tears, like, you know, when he went in front of the camera, we can't replace Aguero. 1 week later, linked to Kane, crocodile tear, bald checkbook fraud.
You know
I
what?
just want someone to slap him in the face.
For me,
in the Man City section, we come to the guy who supports the club last. Relax, you'll have the opportunity to reply to all of us. Just let the others speak, and then we'll come to you. This is your club, so you have the final say. You'll have the final say. It's your football.
I don't just want to hear a Liverpool fan about us then. Pass it over to them.
I did not say shit. All I said is they're gonna fall off because of the Champions League final loss. They're gonna finish third. If they sign Kane, they win the league. That's honestly my entire opinion.
I don't know.
So that's not biased. That's balanced. Anyway, gonna go to Indiana. Obviously, Indiana as the rivals. I don't know if they are your rivals, but anyway. Your thoughts on Man City?
City are the rivals, man. Listen, City, Arsenal, Leeds.
That was a double-edged sword. I love.
Everyone's your rivals, man. You man are just dickheads.
Arsenal are the rivals.
These men have got a rivalry with fucking Crystal Palace and that, man. Relax, innit? Like, just chill, innit? Like, just
that's your neck of the woods, South London, innit?
Whatever, innit? I'm just saying it. These men have got rivals with everyone. How can these men talk about Leeds?
Sure, I've got more faith in
No, it's Leeds and Liverpool. Leeds, Liverpool City. Yorkshire, Lancashire.
Don't forget, at one point,
and Arsenal and Chelsea.
They had a rivalry with flipping Chelsea, Newcastle.
Fuck Chelsea immediately. Within 3 seconds, fuck Chelsea. So you can't say they don't have a rivalry. The only club they don't have a rivalry with is Tottenham.
Don't forget Newcastle were their rivals at one point, and then you got flipping
Blackburn.
Everton were their rivals at one weird reason. I don't know why they were.
It just happens to the biggest team in England, whatever.
Exactly. So there's calling
second biggest team. Sure. Don't do that. Don't do the exactly thing when he said biggest club. Don't do that. Anyway, Man City show. Man City. Or sorry, Indiana. Man City.
City for me, they're still the favourites because they're the champions, right? For me, they have to be the favourites. I hear what you're saying with the negativity coming out of the camp, but when you look at the players they have, and you throw Grealish into it, that's just competition in there. I think Foden for me is the best young talent in the league. I think he's outstanding. He's incredible on the ball. I just think he's incredible. I really rate him. I hate that he's a Man City player, but he is an outstanding footballer. He's going to go a long way. I think Sterling is very underrated. Mahrez is quality. He's throw Jack Grealish in there, De Bruyne in there. Fernandinho for me is still the best DM in the league. I don't care. I know he's 36. He can't play every game.
That's debatable.
You look at he is for me. And then you look at the centre backs, the goalkeeper. Carl Walker, I still think Carl Walker's up there with the best right backs.
Agreed.
I think he goes under the radar.
Agreed.
Miles and miles above Trent. I mean, Trent's just across Merchant, whatever.
Oh my God!
He is, man. He is.
Bro, Kyle Walker could not lace Trent's boots, my guy. Allow it.
No, you probably actually taught him how to lace boots.
So stop that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Carl Walker's levels above Trent. He really is. I hate to say it, but he is.
Indiana, this is the City section. Stop being obsessed.
You're obsessed. You spoke when I was speaking because you got triggered because I mentioned Liverpool and Trent and he's not good enough.
You can't. But why do you have to mention Trent when you're talking about Man City?
This is
opinion. This is opinion.
I started off saying. Listen. Manchester hates. My dad taught me to hate Scousers.
bro. Listen,
Away
yeah.
from football.
I
Away
guarantee
from football.
I guarantee you, when Husam answers back to Indiana, he's going with mad, like he's going with material, isn't it? Like Husam, let him land, then go on, you go in after. Because I know you've got shit to say to every single player they have. Look at
we're
him.
going to go there. I think Kieran
Martinez,
Trippier does a better
look at
job
him.
than Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. Whatever.
Who's
anyway,
better?
Trips is better.
Oh yeah.
Don't bite.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
bite.
glad you agree.
Don't bite.
Right,
Don't
so
bite.
what I'm saying
Don't bite.
is basically City for me are the champions. I think it's going to be between them and Chelsea. Getting Harry Kane though, that seals the deal. I don't care that Chelsea have got Lukaku. Getting Harry Kane, if they sign him, it's done deal for me. There's no way you can lose the title. It just can't.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. I'm like, the thing is that the Kyle Walker thing with Trent is just so laughable. I'm actually not even gonna address it. The fact he said Trippier is better is even worse. I'm literally not even gonna give you the the pleasure of me responding, because that just shows like that's just such a laughable opinion. It's actually astounding to me. Indiana, I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite. It's too late. It's too late. I'm not gonna bite. Not gonna bite.
Well done, bro.
Kish, Man City.
Chewing right now.
Yeah, to be honest, listen, don't get me wrong. The Grealish debate, we've already talked about the transfer fee. Obviously, it's too much, but do I think he's a good player? Yes. If you actually look at his, listen, I don't really base things on stats around goals and kind of, because it depends on, there's so many kind of fundamentals around stats. But if you actually look at his statistics from last season, you compare it with De Bruyne, and you'd say that De Bruyne is in a more possession-based team compared to Aston Villa, has more of the ball, etc. Chances created, passes, forward, goal statistics, everything is on level par with De Bruyne. So that kind of tells you, I think, the mold that Pep is probably thinking is that at his most successful period at Man City was when he had the pivot of David Silva and De Bruyne and then Fernandinho in behind as the defensive pivot. I think that's what he's probably trying to achieve, because he's probably thought that once David Silva left, it seems like Foden isn't that sort of player. Foden's more attacking, maybe on the wing or more of a cam position, but he needs those two centre midfielders like he had with De Bruyne and Silva. And I think that's what he's trying to have as a mould for Jack Grealish. Again, he's nowhere near the quality of David Silva, don't get me wrong, but I think if you look at what he's done in the past, would you say Sterling improved? Yes. Would you say Sane improved? Yes. Would you say Foden improved? Yes. So he has improved. Even Kyle Walker, compared to Tottenham, he's a completely different animal to what he was at Spurs. So you could even argue with John Stones that he's revitalized those sort of players. So again, I'm not
Diaz, that's Diaz, not Pep though.
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of players that he's improved, and in particular in the attacking positions. If Grealish is willing to listen to Pep, I do see a fantastic player there. 100 million, no chance, but do I see a very good player? Yes.
The Sterling thing. So I don't want to get into my Sterling slander, because that is a whole episode, right? But Sterling last season, his form dropped because David Silva was no longer there.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
David Silva created space for Sterling to run into.
Pep has seen that. Pep knows that. Listen, is it someone that he desperately needed? No, but is it someone that will enhance the squad? Yes. Again, 100 million is ridiculous, but again, we've already spoke about this. But it's the same as what everyone else is in the panel has said. If Man City sign Harry Kane, it's game over. And the reason why I say it's game over is because if you look at Pep and you look at players that he signed in the past for clubs, like Henry, for example, where Henry publicly said that the one thing with Pep is once you're assigned your position, you can't then move, because if you move away from the position that he assigned you to go to, he will drop you. That's literally what Pep does. So Pep, Kane wouldn't be a creative midfielder like he is at Tottenham in a sense. He would be up front, and his job would be to be inside the 10-yard box or the 15-yard box and get the ball at the back of the net. That's literally how I see it. And his injuries and the ankle injuries, it wouldn't happen at City, because at City, he's not guaranteed to play every game, Harry Kane. Even De Bruyne doesn't play every game. So the way it would work is he would manage the schedules of these players and the games that they play and do not play. Whereas at Tottenham, if he stays fit every season for every game, he plays 50, 60 games. He even plays in the Europa League games.
Yeah, it's unfair.
So
it's unfair for him last season. Like Rashford at United.
Exactly. That Rashford was carrying the injury for the last 3 months, but he still got played because Ollie didn't have a replacement and he didn't trust anyone else. So with Harry Kane at Man City, he will beat Aaron Shearer's record within 3 seasons, in my opinion. If he goes to Man City, that's my humble opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. 100% fair. 100% fair. So Daps, now you get to have your say on
now,
your own
you know
stuff.
what? It's good listening. You know what? It's good listening because I'm not sold on Grealish or Kane. I'm not sold on neither of them. But I trust my manager.
That's a City fan. I ain't spoke. One sec. All I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna keep it so brief, innit?
Oh, so you haven't spoken yet?
No. Let him go. Yeah, let him go. Let him land.
I ain't spoken.
That's on me. That's on me. My bad.
No worries, bro. Man City, amazing team. You done well to win all that you've won. Brilliant. I don't think you're winning next year. My bet, genuinely, Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to win the league.
Same. And you're getting You're getting very good odds on Chelsea at the moment as well. You know.
All right, listen, we're done. Don't do that. You know, man's going to go with the Sky bet. The second this is finished, I might just throw a little cheeky thing on that. Still, I do genuinely.
Same. I think we all agree Chelsea are favourites.
Yeah. 100%.
They're going to win the league this year. I promise you. Like that does not take.
I like Tuchel. I think Tuchel's a very good manager.
He's a tactician and he's a weird tactician. Like this guy knows. Like other than that West Brom game and like the odd defeat that we've seen him do, like bro, that he's weird, bro. Like he's really good. So and
you hear what he said to Abramovich. I can build you a legacy. The guy is.
I'll tell you what's mad scary is I've heard how Pep spoke about him, and he described. There's an interview where he was talking about Chelsea's play under Tuchel, and he actually sounded confused. So it tells me how he was looking at that final and the reason why he overthinks every single time he goes into a game of Tuchel. That is crazy. Like,
listen,
it don't look like Tuchel does the same thing.
But listen,
he says, "Yeah, do this, do that. You're good." Like
Klopp and Tuchel got in Pep's head in Germany.
Yeah.
Got in his head in Germany. Joking aside, I mean, when we got Pep, I was a bit like, I don't know. Because you have to remember with Pep, when Pep took over at Bayern had just done the treble. Okay?
Yeah.
So I was a bit like with Pep, I don't know. Like, I can tell you now, I rate Pep. Last season, with things that happened at City, how we still won the league last season when we were 11 points behind Tottenham in December, I rate Pep now. But Klopp and Tuchel are elite managers.
Yeah, they are.
There's no hiding that they are. And Tuchel, I think he's going to be. He could go on to be one of the best Premier League managers of all time. I honestly think it. I think the guy. I really think it. I see a lot in him.
Abramovich won't give him the time for that.
That's true. Good point.
That's
one
the thing. One season where he doesn't win a trophy. Say if he comes second. Look at Ancelotti in the second season when they came second.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. But go on. I'll let you finish, Shots.
No. That's pretty much all I was going to say.
I'm not going
to go in too much. I just think Chelsea are going to win the league. That's my prediction.
Same. I think Kane and Grealish. Look, I trust my manager. I trust my board.
My question for the whole team here, yeah. So if Pep stays at City for another 5 years, so he's been there for 5 years.
Don't believe it will.
No, hypothetically. Listen. So he's won 3 league titles in the last 4 years, right? If he wins, say, 6 or 7 league titles in 10, but still never wins the Champions League at Man City in that tenure, do you believe that he's been a failure at Manchester City?
No, he hasn't.
Easy yes for me.
Even if he wins, say 6 out of 10 leagues, because he's now 3 and 4. Yeah, and he's won the League Cup every season. I think.
Maybe I got my Arsenal hat. Maybe I got my Arsenal
3 and 5. 3 and 5. And has he won a trophy every season at Man City? Has he won the trophy every year?
Yeah. No, first year I don't believe he does.
First year he won nothing.
No. First year you won the Carabao Cup.
He wins. Okay.
Yeah. So every season he's won a trophy.
First year in the documentary he never won nothing.
I don't think that's.
I watched it recently.
I don't agree with that because I think the Champions League is a different thing. It's
thank you.
It's knockout football. It's different. Over the course of a season, it's a league which decides how good you are.
Facts.
I think it's a great achievement if you win your league and you get to the final. That's great, because that's a one-off game that can go either way, right?
Yes.
But the fact that he's dominating the league with the trophies he's picking up, and he's done it in different countries, I don't think you can say that. I mean, for me, Fergie's always going to be the greatest manager for me.
Same.
And he didn't dominate Champions League football. That didn't happen.
Took him. I think 6 years till he won the Champions League.
Do you know the one thing that really annoys me is the debate that people say about Pep is the fact that he's had an open checkbook. He has as much money he wants to spend, but it's not as easy as having the money to spend and then just winning trophies. It doesn't work like that, because look at Chelsea, for example, in the past. Look at other teams who've had an open checkbook. They've not been able to win. You know, a manager still needs to have his ability, right?
Yeah, but then, all right, Kish, what you're saying there, yeah, that's where you can now look at people like Klopp, yeah? And I'm sorry, you can look at people like Klopp, yeah, you can say, right, okay, this guy here, he's worked miracles, because he
I agree.
Let me just
bring the best football out of what's available to him. So, yes, there's injuries and so on, but same thing with Wenger as well. Because all right, yes, I know he only won 3 titles in the Premier League and so on, but the style of football he did, what he did, the little time that he did. No, but this is what I'm trying to say with Pep. Pep has an open checkbook wherever he goes.
You know what? Listen.
If you look at Arsenal's success during that period, if you look at Arsenal's success during that period of late 90s, early 2000s, Wenger basically had a pick of the French players in the French league. That was his rating. He basically had the pick. It wasn't until
he never outspent
his methods.
He revolutionized scouting. That's the only difference with that. Like we've all said, Manchester United will go to all of the best teams the best players in the teams that were below them, and he will pick off that person and say, I'm going to take that person for that position.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're doing it forever. Rio's fee, if you look at Rio's fee based on how long ago that was, that was insane. But they needed it.
Insane.
Yeah. It was huge. But listen, let me tell you the realest thing, right? And this is coming from a City fan that's been to Main Road more than he's been to Etihad, right? And now being real with you about Man United and Liverpool. The thing that Pep cannot change, right, is that Liverpool have done it so many times, right? And no one puts respect on doing it so many times. United, you know what? That's why I rate Chelsea. The Chelsea have actually come through and managed to do it. The biggest issue is, like, I was speaking to a City fan, to a fan of another club the other day who was talking about City and how many fans we get at the stadium. And I said, listen, we sell out our Premier League games because the core Manchester City fans of an age that can go to football because they can either afford it or because it's close enough is about 45 and above, right? They don't give a flying fuck about the Champions League. They just want to be successful domestically, right? Then you've got these younger little shits all over Twitter that think City have been amazing forever, right? But they don't go to games. If we're being realistic, the hardest thing for City to do is win it once. So that's why I respect Chelsea, that Chelsea have managed to come through and do it, because Liverpool, when Liverpool have been very average, have won the Champions League.
Average club, really.
They just know how to do it. Whereas City, if you haven't got a fan base that think you can win the Champions League, how are you going to win the Champions League? Liverpool can have a shit season, but their fans still think they're going to win the Champions League. It means a lot. Fans believing in your club means a lot. Like,
can I honestly answer you? Honestly, no bias whatsoever. I'm not even trying to take the piss or nothing. All I'm gonna say is, when everything you've just said right now, if you won it once, you would have had a totally different way of looking at it. Because when I'm not even trying to like sound like, oh, look at me, I'm just time European champion. I'm just saying, if you won that Champions League one time and actually felt what it's like to be European champions, and you see like all your players get nominated for individual awards, all of them like in the World 11, you know, like for example, like a Kevin De Bruyne being nominated for a Ballon d'Or. It's different when you're European champions.
You're right.
it has so much more weight. I understand
It's the
the
same
thing
with
completely.
Tottenham. Like the Tottenham need that. Like even you know what? I'll even take it as
If
far as
Tottenham
Man
won
United.
that,
Listen,
if Tottenham won that game against us, it would have made their entire club
look, I'll
1
even take
Oh
it.
yeah, 100%.
Take it back to last season when Man United played us in December in the league. They beat us. Then they played us in January in the Carabao Cup. I said, listen, United win this semi-final in the Carabao Cup next season with a trophy. United are a different breed. But Ollie couldn't do it. So now they're the same breed. Same. We didn't win the league. We beat Man United in the FA Cup semi-final the year before. That changed everything. Just getting that one trophy. Same with Tottenham. Tottenham get that one proper trophy, they'll push forward. But it's hard. Like, it's mind games. We can't.
Look at us the season
I
after
think
Liverpool beat us.
anyway, look,
Ericsson
if we're
wanted,
being
Ericsson
completely
wanted
honest
to
now,
leave, and half of the players wanted to go.
With the PSG thing now, we all just need to
You're fucked.
we just need to be quiet with the
Don't worry
Champions
about
League
PSG,
thing.
man.
It's gone. It's gone with the Champions League. City's not winning it. Liverpool's not winning it. No, United not
You
winning
say
it.
that though, but look at Real Madrid with the
PSG are winning.
Galacticos. Look at Real Madrid when they had Ronaldo,
I remember.
the Brazilian
I
Ronaldo.
know.
Look,
I know
tax,
what
man.
they're
Don't
saying.
worry about it. It's
And
tax.
I see it. I see it, but I just believe the PSG got too much. That's just my opinion.
You're going to see a lot of PSG versus PSGs on FIFA 22.
Yes, whoever's taking PSG in FIFA can't be my friend anymore. I can't.
No, it's illegal. It's illegal.
That's just illegal. Anyways, people, we're gonna have to wrap up. So I just want to say, big up to everyone in the comment section. If you are yet to like this video, please do like the video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. All the wonderful panelists we had today, everything regarding them, their channels, their Twitter handles, etc., is in the video description. So whichever one you guys want to follow us all. Go to the video description, catch all the Twitter ads, all the YouTube channels, everything. Big up to every single panelist. Big up to the comment section as well. It was a fantastic debut show, the Big Six show. Shout out to Rachel as well, who made the amazing thumbnail for the video. So big up every single one in the comment section. Big up the panelists, and we will see you guys whenever we see you.
Subscribe and like, guys. Come on, man.